Good day, everybody. Tracy Brown here. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to cough. Sorry. Like you said, the laryngitis is mostly gone, but I still have my moments where kind of sneaks up on me and I get a little scratchy and then I can't breathe. So that's what's happening right now. I hope you all are having a great start to your new year. Yesterday was my first full day back to seeing clients, and it was super fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. Not that the sessions were easy, but they were just, I just love this work. All right, so I am noticing that this might be the case for you. So if I'm just talking in the wind here, let me know. But I'm really curious, like what you're noticing, and you can respond as I'm talking here. I'll answer the questions as whoever's watching live. If you've noticed some things that you want to share, please tell me. I want to hear about what you're noticing. But we want to be ready, be grounded, and other resources to help our people. So anyway, I'm wondering if you guys are noticing certain trends in what people are, either in your community, in your family, what people are saying about what the struggles are. Because the things that I hear people talking about, let's say this past year, and even into the new year, and what I've seen online so far the last couple of days and weeks, is different than what I saw 12 years ago, or even 5 or 7 or 8 years ago. And I just want to address that because I think things are changing. What I'm going to say is this, that I think because so many of us are willing to talk about intuitive eating, talk about recovery, talk about the damages that diets do, that talk about that all these popular plans out there, they do harm. You know, you might get some short-term or medium-term health benefits from doing certain kinds of food restricted things, but they're not lasting for a lot of people. And of course, they don't necessarily maintain lower body weight for long term. And so that message still needs to be spread, So if you've got people, and what I'm seeing is a lot more extremes in terms of, people are coming off Whole30 now and keto and intermittent fasting and all their vulnerabilities with their past struggles with staying grounded in their bodies, with, of course, knowing their hunger fullness signals are just on full blast, emotional and physical discomfort. So, there's a difference. I see a difference between people who come to me doing Weight Watchers versus people who come to me doing paleo or some other thing. Honestly, not as much paleo, but more about things like the really more food group restricted things. And what I'm also seeing, and you guys are probably seeing this too, which we need to be on top of, is people doing coming from integrative or functional medicine kind of food elimination plans and things like that. And I'm not saying that those potentially might not help people have a place, but of course people aren't being screened in these other practices for disordered eating, and people either get too extreme or just can't follow, and it triggers their old binging. But they still have these health concerns that aren't being addressed usually by traditional medicine. So, a lot of us are going to be called to stand in that gap as to, like, people feel terrible. Their gut health isn't great. Their thyroids, they got some stuff going on. So I have seen a lot more people who are coming from that. They've been working, trying to get their hormones balanced or their gut health fixed for years. And they've also been struggling with trying to be full-on intuitive eaters. So that's a trend that wasn't there even, definitely not 5 years ago. I'd say in the last 5 years, that's what I've seen more and more of. So we need to be aware of that. We need to be educating ourselves around, honestly, the different herbal things that people are doing. I've got a whole stack here. I don't know if you guys can see this ginormous, grotesque pile. You see this? This is like different categories of like gut health protocols and thyroid things and adrenal things and all kinds of things that I don't think that are the full picture, but because nervous system health has to be addressed along with these, because you can't give a person a whole bunch of adaptogens and think that all their stressors are going to go away. That's not going to be true. They have to be eating enough. They have to be eating regularly. And then lots and lots and lots and lots and lots more rest. And these are the things that are more difficult for people because they need to address their life. And they're also having an eating disorder, or at least like some dysfunctional diet, mentality, eating going on, and body image issues. So those are things that I want you to know that you're probably going to be seeing more and more in your practices. The other thing that I see a lot more, the two things that I'm seeing, so there's that, and the things that I'm seeing more and more, and I think you all should expect to be seeing more and more too. And I know I've been working hard to like educate myself and dress, and I'm going to be bringing that more into my trainings in the next 2 years, probably this year and next year, is a lot of our clients have seen other people. And that's not unusual. You know, sometimes we're not the initial and only change agent that people have in their lives. You know, they've been to other treatment centers, or work with other coaches or dietitians or therapists, and that's part of it, no big deal. But what I'm seeing is that our clients are more educated about, like, a lot of people aren't fully benefit from like only top-down approaches like CBT and just giving people education. It's not going to be enough. I work with a new person in my group yesterday. Never met her before. That's the first time she showed up live to my group. And she'd already done a 6-month intuitive eating program and was, you know, she knew a lot and listened to all the podcasts. But at this point, she was being super triggered by them because she was working on being more mindful. And underneath that first layer of mindfulness was a whole lot of, she had a whole lot of attachment issue. And just super triggered, and was making her binge and feeling really frustrated. And so I want you all to expect that that's what's out there right now, that there's so much online presence and availability to things that a lot of people are walking around actually struggling kind of bit. So we need to be prepared for people coming in a little bit more educated, which is awesome, but more skeptical about what's going to help them. So we need to be really ready to dig in to like really holding space and going at a pace that they are going to, like, that's the same person. It's like, you know, we did a group session and I spent probably 10, 15 minutes just with her about feeling sensation. That was it, because this is something that, you know, she hasn't ever been taught before, that has to happen to not binge anymore. And that hasn't been available to her. So be prepared to do some different stuff and some slower work with a lot of our clients who've had lots of CBT and lots of education. They're ready for the next step. And I want you all to be ready for that too. All right. So you may have seen my link down that I put yesterday about I'm releasing my first non-diet counseling skills, kind of taking a sneak peek into some of my sessions. And it's going to be the volume 1. And one of the sessions in there is about this. I taught the sessions all are around body image, but they're totally different. They're not about like reminding people that they are, there's no good bodies. I mean, there's no bad bodies. There's a lot of that in there. There's a lot of traditional stuff, but really a lot of the stuff I'm doing in some of these sessions is helping people feel sensations and holding the space, because the bad body image feelings and days are coming from like just too much sensation, because these people know a lot. They know that like they're all relatively physically healthy, so they can't use like, well, it's about my health. They know that like there's fat prejudice, and that they know how to navigate, and they can see that other people's fat prejudice, and they know that like that's from their wounding. So they're very savvy. All three of these clients, what they're recognizing, like, oh, here's these unmet emotional and sensory needs that they're physically feeling, but they just don't have a tool for that. So, you know, one of those sessions in particular talks all about that. That's all we work on. I'm not actually having her do a lot of traditional body image work. Now, one of those sessions, there is some. So you're going to get a taste of that too, of like, I'm having her literally like do some mirror work and things like that. But anyway, I'm sharing all this with you because I want you to know, like, that's what people are hungry for. People are coming for like tools and specific relief because they've read all the stuff. And not all of our clients. Some people are going to be brand new newbies. And those are fun because we get to use all our good, yummy, non-diet, intuitive eating work right off the bat, at the surface level. But, especially if you work virtually and you're doing a lot of coaching, be prepared for like people know some stuff already and they're looking to go to another level, and we want to be able to support that. So I hope this video helps. It's not like, I'm just sharing you with the trends I'm seeing. The people that come to me, this is what I'm seeing. I literally had a call last night. I'll read this to you. She was like, I've done all this. I've done CBT for years, and but my cognitive dissonance is still really strong. And, I still calorie count, and whenever I see weight gain, it feels traumatizing. And I know better, but when I go to like eat more food and the scale goes up again, because I used the scale to check myself, as she's talking, all I can hear is ding, 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 that there's not a lot of capacity to tolerate change and emotion and much of that kind of stuff. So this kind of client, she was hammering me and pepper me with a lot of questions. I'm not sure if she's going to work with me. It was a kind of discovery call thing. But we had a really good, basically it was like a 30-minute mini session. It was really good at like, this is what we can do for what you're describing, around the dissonance, around tolerating weight gain, all those kind of things. But there's a level of commitment that you're going to need to have on your end to, feel your way out of this and not just think your way out of this. So I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions about the case study series coming up, let me know. If you have any questions personally about your own work, the kind of clients you're seeing, please put it in the anything that you want to be talking about, because this is what this group is for. Is like, oh, these are the kind of folks I'm getting, and I love it, and I want to share how great it's going. Or like, I love these kind of clients, but it's it's kind of hard. It's a lot. Let's talk about it, because this is again what this is like. Case consultation light in this group, and then we can go into some of the deeper aspects of it when we do the group and the individual consultation. So anyway, I hope this video finds you all well. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you feel like you've got some coach and dietitian friends that would benefit from this group, please send them the link to come in here and join. And I hope you all have a really great day, and it's the beginning of a new year for you in terms of where you're going with your practice. And I know I asked some questions earlier this week about what are your hopes for this year? I'd love to be able to know what you're doing so I can root you and cheer you on as well. So thank you so much for watching, and talk soon.